You right?
Yeah, you?
Recovered from your little trip?
I walked 24 kilometres over 2 days.
It's a big one, isn't it?
24 kilometres. Burned over 2,500 calories.
Wow.
But probably put 4,000 in each day, so...
We should have got a Segway.
Yeah, they don't think they like them.
Really?
No.
Or a bike?
Yeah.
So, introduce this little video then, and I'm going to ask you some questions.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 44th annual EICMA Roundup from the Milan show.
Where do you want to start then?
I mean, let's go alphabetical like we did last time,
Okay.
because there's so much to talk about.
Okay.
So we have some sort of structure.
So get yourself a cup of tea.
Yeah.
And maybe some biscuits and some snacks, sausage rolls, prawn cocktail.
Yeah. M&S selection pack with
Not
cubes.
the goat's cheese sandwich one though. Anyway, let's get on with it.
Okay. So, A is for Aprilia.
Yes.
Oh,
I mean, straight in there with the big dog.
yeah. I mean, it's kind of, they were the first out. They didn't wait to the show. They decided, right, let's get the bike out there on the Saturday. Brilliant idea.
Genius.
Yeah.
Because everyone was talking about that
Exactly.
rather than everything else.
Exactly. So the RSV4 1100 factory, it's now called.
So it's not an RF anymore.
No, this is, they still do the RR, which is a 1000cc version for racing,
Yeah.
but the 1100 is called the 1100 factory.
Okay.
So obviously the big news is that 1078 motor, and it makes 217 horsepower.
I was one out on my guess.
Claimed 217. And they've done that by bigger bore, so basically the Tuono,
Big balls.
big bores. Of course, you've got the wings, carbon wings. You've got those air ducts on the brake calipers. Factory as, it really is a beautiful bike. I mean, let's be honest, for such a big upgrade, they could have done something with the aesthetics.
Yeah. But then is it really a big upgrade?
Well, it's more than just a motor. You know, the chassis, basically they've slammed it against the wall, made it sharper.
Right,
and
okay.
The wheelbase is longer for stability to offset that, but it's gonna turn even quicker now.
All they needed to do really was just change the headlights a bit.
Yeah, and the rear.
I quite like the rear
I
still.
like it, but it's over 10 years old now.
Yeah.
But it does look so good in that raw carbon.
And we know from our Jerez test last year, earlier this year actually, the V4S versus the
RF.
the 999cc
Yeah.
RF, the RF was still faster.
Yeah.
So I've got no doubt it's going to chew the S V4.
Absolutely, yeah. It also gets the Stylimer brake calipers.
Nice. Because there's actually, I think we had a few issues with the M50 is a great caliper.
Yeah.
But I think they bind, don't
Yeah.
they, badly, and that's why we chewed a whole set of brake pads in one day last time.
Yeah, there's something definitely going not quite right there, is there?
Yeah.
Obviously, loads of carbon fibre. The price, not too sure yet, but we've had whispers of it being low 20s. So, as a package, it's not limited edition either. It is, you know, it's
that's it.
It's the big deal. So, as a package for around low 20s, really, when you consider its rivals, it's not bad. And also, while we were out there on the Tuesday, the first day, they put a press release out saying they were releasing a prototype. It was called the 660 or the RS660, and no one really knew what it was. It looked quite sporty under the covers. Well, as you saw,
Absolute weapon.
I
Cheers
mean,
fest.
660 parallel twin.
It looks better than, as we said on the big one. If they made the big one look a bit more like that, maybe that's the design direction they're going in. But yeah, it looks proper jizzy, doesn't it?
Yeah. Not much other info other than
It's a parallel twin.
It's a parallel twin, 660, sporty as. it's not just an RSV4 with a parallel twin engine. There's quite a lot of other tweaks. So yeah, looking forward to that. What comes after A, Chris?
B.
BMW.
BMW.
Well,
quite a lot of big news from the big
news.
Bavarian bastards. And I think we should start with the one everyone's been eagerly awaiting.
Exactly. There's no other bike. The S1000RR. I mean, we'd seen pictures of it, haven't we?
Yeah. Kind of, like renders from Chinese websites. But yeah, I mean, apart from the feedback from the internet, I personally think it looks pretty bloody good. And spec-wise, it is so superior to what is the bike now. That I'm super looking forward to riding it. I'm super looking forward to it. So yeah, 2 specs. M package is its own spec'd bike, and then obviously the starting one you can probably spec up with the wheels and the bits and bobs as you.
Yeah, I mean there's the whole list of bits.
BMW are very good at extracting money from after sales.
Forget the looks. This is what pisses me off about the internet.
Honda.
I mean, there's lots of comments on it, and we'll let you decide about the aesthetics. But the spec, regardless of what it looks like, this is a massive upgrade. It's all new.
Well, I mean, it's almost 10 years old, that bike, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it needed it.
Yeah.
But obviously, talking points, so 207 horsepower from 1,000cc.
And that's going to be more accurate than some of the Italian estimations,
probably.
I would assume, as well.
Yeah.
It tends to be the case.
Yeah. And it is 11 kilos lighter at 190.
With that massive exhaust setup with sort of a resonator box and a cat in, I think.
Yeah, I mean, those stats enough alone are pretty cool. So, and of course, it's got the shift cam.
It has got shift cam, yes.
Which you've ridden on the GS.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's not going to be the same.
No.
But it's basically a variable valve timing system. But yes, on the GS, which we'll come to in a minute, the new 1250, it's unnoticeable. It's not like old VTECs and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, the Suzuki, that had variable valve timing, and that absolutely romped it on track. And the torque figures, that's the most impressive about that RR. For an inline 4, the torque figures are insane.
They are claiming at least 100 newton meters of torque from 5,500 RPM to 14, to near enough the red line.
And torque isn't normally up there either, is it? So,
it's really intriguing to see if that
And generally, I think, in speaking to BMW, the previous RR has been known for the best road-going sports bike you can get. It's very good. You can go touring on it. It's very easy to ride and soft and stuff. I'm sure they're still going to have that inherent character, but they've definitely aimed it way more towards the track this time.
Yeah.
To get superbike results in racing.
They won nothing in superbike trim.
Well, not world level now.
Yeah. Or they haven't won a BMW.
National. They're TT. They're pretty amazing. Aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the bike at the TT, isn't it? Really. Still. Has it got any sort of slide control? Is that talked about yet?
No. I mean, there's lots of details that weren't in the press guff.
Yeah.
So they're leaving a lot of it until the launch.
Yeah.
So there's no mention of they've got split throttle bodies, which is a really, really, for those of you who understand split throttle bodies, basically it's a really good, opens up a world of options for corner exit and power and electronics. So you can have 2 cylinders and 3, you can run them individually. So
because BMW are the only team that are running their own electronics package in World Superbikes.
Exactly. Exactly. But there's no mention. It's got this new 6-axis IMU, so it might have.
Yeah, you would have thought so.
But there's no mention of it. So there's no mention of the fact that it uses Marzocchi forks now.
Yeah. Which can only be a good thing, because the outgoing forks were not the best.
They were all right.
They were all right.
They were all right. I mean, the suspension is all new, obviously. It's revised DDC. No,
Dynamic damping control.
Yes.
Yeah.
The chassis geometry is completely different.
Yeah.
What else has it got?
Well, the brakes, and this is interesting, because on the GS as well, they've moved away from Brembos, so they've got their own branded brakes on there, so that's going to be interesting to see what they do. I'm shocked with that. They don't seem to be, they're quite Germanic about it. These brakes are good for our product, we don't need a name, but it would be nice to have some blingy Brembos on.
Definitely. There's more weight on the nose,
Yeah.
so it's more nosy.
56,
53.8%,
53.
which is a lot.
Yeah.
But of course, they've made the swing arm longer.
And underslung.
Oh, it's a really nice looking swing arm. Some of
Yeah.
the machining on it is, I mean, the welds and stuff around the subframe and a bit, yeah.
But at least it's a proper trellis subframe now,
Yeah.
not box section at the back of a Ford Transit, which it
Yeah.
was for the last 10 years.
Yeah, actually, yeah, it did look.
It's shocking.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's also got your favourite favourite feature, which is hill start control,
Oh yeah.
which you keep moaning about.
I'm not moaning about it. It's just, it'd be great for Brands Hatch on the start line at Brands Hatch,
It would.
and you're rolling down the hill.
But what you're missing, a lot of things that keep people out of the sports bike market is the seat height, the ride
Yeah.
height. And actually, the BMW was one of the lower ones anyway.
Yeah.
So now they've just opened it up to more people. You can turn it off if you don't want to.
Yeah, no, it's
It's
just,
not like
it's
like,
just bizarre, isn't it? We all laughed about the BMW when it had heated grips.
I never laughed.
Well, on a superbike, an elite superbike,
Yeah.
the fastest superbike, heated grips.
But that's what made it
Yeah.
the better bike for the road, because it had you covered in all scenarios. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. But I'm very much looking forward to getting an M package one.
Getting the M package.
Package.
Mm.
And the wheels are carbon wheels
Yes, they do
on the M package.
They do a carbon or a forged version if you want.
Yeah.
Bit more into electronics. So as I said, there's a new. Oh, the dash looks really cool.
It does
Love
look
that.
very good.
Looks very racy.
And you can change the graphic modes
yeah.
of it as well, which is nice.
New 6-axis IMU, or they call it the sensor cluster. And obviously you've got the Race Pro package as an upgrade if you want.
Yeah.
But DTC is now
Yeah.
standard. Comes as standard, so you don't
Okay.
have that. Just the Guff stability control.
Yes.
Yeah. Prices have been released. It's 15 something in it for
Has
the.
it actually been released?
Yeah, it's 15 for the base.
Yeah. Which is pretty staggeringly good,
very good
in this marketplace.
When you look at Honda and Suzuki.
I know what I prefer to buy.
Well,
because and it's not just the bike you're buying the dealership experience. Yes, it's more expensive to get your bike service there, but I mean, you go down to Barnstormer, you walk into that dealership, and then you walk to a Suzuki dealership nearby. It's not even comparable as a retail experience.
No. But I did sit on it. It's very small. It's very small.
Is it?
It is. It's not small. It's much thinner.
Right. Okay.
In between your legs. And it does feel much more compact.
Okay.
Still plenty of room. Because most of the, as you know, our Bavarian friends.
Yeah.
They're quite big guys,
They
aren't
are quite big. Yeah. I mean, of the spy shots, that bloke test riding it. I mean, I hoped he was 6'8", because it did look pretty small under his colossal frame.
Obviously, the new 1250 GS Adventure.
Yes.
Looks badass. I think
It does
it
look
looks
nice.
even that sort of goldy.
Yeah, I mean, people would describe it as brown, probably.
Yeah.
But I don't think it is brown. It reminds me of the original olive GSA, which they had.
Yeah.
The green one.
Yeah.
Which I love. That's still my favourite colour.
The new F850 GS Adventure.
Yeah. Is it an F850 GS Adventure?
Yes.
Or it's just an 850 GS Adventure?
F850
Okay.
GS Adventure.
That looks a proper good bike.
Yeah.
Really versatile.
Lots of middleweight trail bikes, adventure bikes this year, which we'll get onto later, but that's a banger. And of course the 1250R and 1250 RS.
Yes. And there is a new scooter as well.
Yes.
If you're interested.
Yeah. But yeah, they're the main highlights, but it's difficult not to get past the S1000RR because...
I know. Flagship motorcycle. Will it stay at the top for another 10 years?
Who knows?
You decide, literally.
D.
Ducati.
So let's get straight into it. The V4R. I mean, that without doubt, that was the bike of the show. It stole a lot of hearts.
And the V4S was the bike of the show last year.
Yeah. 221 horsepower in standard trim and 234 horsepower with the race exhaust.
With the puppies on.
The big thing for me, this is a 1000cc sports bike, which all of them rev to 14.5 grand roughly. This revs to 16,500 RPM. It is just
It's
everyone's
like
talking
600
about
territory.
Yeah,
It's beyond 600, some of them.
Yeah, I mean, that is everyone's talking about the power and how good it looks, but that for me is just an absolute engineering genius. How you get a bike to do that, and you've still got normal service intervals.
Yeah, well, it's probably because so many years they've been struggling to get that top end out of a twin, and now they've suddenly got all this technology going, oh my god, we can just stick it on there, yay!
Oh, pistons everywhere! Oh,
brilliant!
Yeah,
nice. And we know from riding the V4S at Jerez, it's a peaky fast bike at the top end anyway.
Yeah,
so it's going to be proper scary up there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure 100% sure on price at the time, but it's 35-ish grand.
Yeah, it has to be under 40 for homologation.
Well, this is it. This is it's a crying shame because the only time we will see this bike is in Superbike. Ducati hasn't homologated it for Superstock racing.
Oh.
There's no European Superstock Championship anymore, so that's the reason why Ducati haven't homologated it for Superstock racing. But also, Stuart here has decided that he doesn't want R models and RR models and whatever. It's just going to be your base.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a shame. But that the wings, the wings and the grilled fairings.
So surely Ducati can't compete then because
it's homologated for racing but not for Superstock.
Okay.
And I'm hearing rumours it revs to and beyond 18,000 RPM in Superbike trim.
Wow.
I mean, Chaz Davis is just going to be
skyward.
Skyward. Little Chaz is just going to be skyward.
Bless him. Because they are notoriously hard to ride. Like, you've got to be Chaz Davis to even think about taking it out for a lap and pushing because, well, the last R's we had on test were just
evil.
I mean, yes, it was a twin thumping thing, but yeah.
Yeah. Also from Ducati, there was the Hypermotard 950 and the SP. That looks pretty
very
cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
And the V4S Course,
which
looks very nice.
Yes, the V4S Course.
That's the one to buy, but for normal people.
Yes. I think. Yeah. I mean, you can't buy an R now. They've sold out until June next year.
Right.
So if you're going to buy a V4, that V4S Course is just stunning, isn't it? Oh.
Does it still have the electronic suspenders?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Hypermotard 950 and SP, that was gorgeous. Absolute bonkers bike then. Multistrada 950, Multistrada 1260 Enduro. Nothing too crazy about that. Couple of new scramblers, 800 scramblers, which is nice. Diavel 1260. And Mr. Domenicali mentioned at the show that there would be 29 new bikes in the next 5 years.
Wow.
So, of course, that's Euro 5, which will be 2020.
Oh, God.
But that's 29 new bikes.
Euro 5. Do you know anything about Euro 5 yet?
Yes, scary.
Just get an electric bike, give in.
Yeah. And actually, it's a nice little segue, that, Chris. I like it.
Well, you see where I'm going there.
Yeah. The Arc.
Yes.
I mean, you were blown away by it. I mean,
was.
It is beautiful.
Absolutely, staggeringly beautiful.
It's also £90,000.
Well, beauty costs a lot.
Yeah. British company, looks incredible.
Yeah.
It's ready to go, 90 grand, but how many they'll sell, I don't know.
Yeah. We'll try and get one. Take it for a ride.
Yeah. Honda. Not a lot going on. New Fireblade, 2019 Fireblade. Electronic update, so the traction control and anti-wheelie have now been separated, which is a good thing. The ABS as well, being the intervention level has been dropped, so you can actually ride it on track properly without running onto a corner. The throttle and ride bar wires are all different, so you get a smoother throttle. So basically, they fixed it. That's what they should have done in the first place. But
wasn't there some gearbox issues on the first ones as well?
Yeah, I mean, not.
Was that just rumours, internets?
A lot of internet rumours. I mean, I've ridden 3-4 of them now, and the first one I rode jumped out of gear.
Right.
But yeah.
Okay, but hopefully they've addressed all that.
Who knows?
So it's going to be a good superbike test this year.
It is. Yeah. New CB650R.
Very nice.
That was a naked one.
Oh, yeah.
But the new CBR 650R, that is, I've got to say,
very nice looking
bike.
Very
nice looking bike.
Yeah.
Really nice. I mean, that'll be a perfect. Obviously, there's no CBR 600 anymore.
No.
And it's not an out and out racer. It's not a super sport bike. It's more of a roadster with fairings on, but it still looks pretty decent.
Yeah.
CB 500 and CBR 500. Again, sort of similar updates. They both have engine revisions.
Mm-hmm.
And the 125cc prototypes.
Which looked very nice.
Yes.
I just wish they were more than 125s, like a 350 or something.
Nice little segue there, Chris.
Thank you, mate.
Without doubt, the 125 of the show was the Ryu.
Spanish, aren't they?
Yeah.
Rajo.
Raul.
Raul. Reju.
Reju.
C or 10, Reju 30.
Yeah, super cool looking 125. Scrambler flat tracker
Because
thing.
there's a load of really good looking, cheap 125s.
Yeah.
And you think, just get a bit more capacity in it. And I would probably have one just to put around the shops and enjoy in a low cost motorcycling. It's what motorcycling was about, wasn't it? With low cost, just getting around.
Husqvarna,
yeah.
They unveiled a 701 Svartpilen.
Yeah.
Updates, black edition, pretty cool.
With the sort of extra fairingy bits on it. Yeah.
That's a revised for 2019. And yeah, that aero prototype, I think that looks pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah. Kind of disappeared a bit, didn't it?
Yeah, there was lots of...
Everyone was like, oh my God, I can't wait for that bike to come out. But I've not seen one riding around.
I've seen loads in Bristol.
Have you?
It's quite a bohemian... You don't get it in Surrey, do you?
No. We're all on K1600 GTs.
Yeah. What's after H? H-I-J, nothing in there.
K.
Kawasaki.
KTM. Oh.
Kawasaki first, KA. Again, not a lot going on. There's the new Z400, which is obviously going to be massive. They're going to sell a ton of them. Yeah.
I mean, the thing with Kawasaki is they make very good motorcycles.
Yeah.
But they're so goddamn ugly, to me anyway, and I know that's subjective, but bloody hell, sort it out, because they are literally a face a mother could love only. That is it. I mean, it's hard enough working with green as your sole colour, so you've already made a difficult job harder.
Yeah.
Should bring back the orange ones, they were pretty cool.
Yeah, they were actually. Yeah. Versus 1000, which is... Again, could be an amazing bike, but looks a bit orthopedic. Yeah.
It's like oh no, I can't say that.
We'll say it and we'll cut it out.
It's like a spacecraft crashed into a prosthetics factory.
Of course we can say that.
Can we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So... KTM. So obviously the big news was the 790 Adventure.
Yeah.
That is going to sell like hotcakes.
Like hot KTMs.
Lots of these sort of middleweight adventure bikes coming out, and I think it looks badass. Especially the R looks badass.
It's got the sort of tank stuff down the side, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like a sort of
proper Dakar
like a ball bag, like just draped over the side fairings, full of your love juice.
Obviously, that's been heavily tweaked from the original 790 Duke, but I mean, yeah, looking forward to riding that.
Well, you would.
Oh, God. 690 SMC R.
That looks cool.
Yeah.
I love the old ones.
Yeah.
And this is just an updated, better one, isn't it? Basically?
I mean, it makes like 74 horsepower from a single.
Riot.
Absolutely. Hooligan, yeah.
Prison time.
Yeah. And its partner, the 690 Enduro R, which kind of both bikes sort of kind of wrong environments for the UK.
Yeah, maybe.
But still, want to get a 690 in the SMC R. That is.
Yeah, the SMC R. Yeah, that's like a bike thief's choice of weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't steal it.
Talking of ball bags. I know it's pretty niche, but worth mentioning. Xsr700x, which is the electric version of the SX50, the kids' bike.
Yeah.
So KCM's mission.
It's not like one of those ones in Argos, though, is it?
No, this is a proper race bike, and I think it's like 25-minute battery time.
That's pretty good.
Which will it'll last the moto flat out.
Are they like hot swappable as well?
Yes. Yeah.
Job done. What letter are we up to?
Well, the next one is M. MV Agusta.
Obviously, I'm a bit more of a fanboy now than I was.
Yeah.
I'm so... Honestly, everything they make now, I'm all over it. The trip recently on the old budget bikes has absolutely changed my opinion of those machines in so many ways, and I want all of them.
I mean, let's start with it's worth pointing actually, so there's a couple of days before the show started, with an email, a press release saying MV Agusta has completed an important capital injection to support its growth. So that's massive news in itself.
Yeah.
So they've got funding, apparently got funding, and then they go and launch some of these bikes. I mean, let's start with the Britale 1000 Serie Oro. I mean, that's going
to be a monster.
208 horsepower.
On a naked bike.
On a naked bike. It's just going to be, I can't wait to ride it. It's going to be absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Very limited. I think it's only 300 being made.
Right, okay.
But yeah.
4 exhausts as well, which is nice.
Yeah.
Haven't seen that for a while.
Yeah. I mean, the styling of it is just, the more you look at it.
It's so jaw-droppingly good
Yeah.
looking.
I mean, Little Al was pointing skyward.
Was he?
Yeah.
Poking his head out.
Yeah.
Like a worm in the rain.
As I said on the Facebook.
They all come out of the ground, don't they?
As I said on the Facebooks, it's got enough electronic gizmos to put Dixon's out of business. It's got so...
They are out of business, aren't
They're
they?
not. There's one open in Gatwick. Probably the only one. So many toys on that thing. Yeah, just the little the wings and the rear seat unit, and it's just absolutely stunning. But I think the Super Veloce 800, which is the prototype, but it will be made obviously based on the F3 800 with those sort of retro styling tweaks.
How good is it that there's a retro bike which now looks like it's going to ride as good as the modern version?
Yeah.
No one else has thought of that. They're like, oh, we can just put crap brakes on it. We can put crap suspension on it because it's like old and cool.
Retro.
No, I want to be old and cool, but I want to duff up some modern shit.
I mean, it's just basically an F3 with that bodywork, and that seat unit is absolutely so. It looks like a Ducati GP bike from a few years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like something in a nice way from like a 1950s, like the Jetsons or something.
Yes.
It's
the front bit. Yeah.
Very nice indeed.
So hoping that will be released soon, or it will be eventually. It will be. And also worth talking about the F4, although it wasn't released there, the F4 Claudio.
Yeah. Magnificence.
I mean, we moan about the Aprilia being outdated and the S1000R being too old, 10 years old. That thing is basically, the styling is 20 plus years.
1996.
And it still looks absolutely... It was plonked on the back of a truck.
Yeah.
But it's still an unbelievable bike. I mean,
68,000 or 72 grand, 68,000, something like that. I think they've all been sold anyway.
Have they?
Yeah.
But yeah, so MV, safe to say MV were one of the busiest stands. It was just...
And how do they do it with being in financial trouble? I want their tax accountant, because I tell you, how do they develop all that stuff? And it's not crap stuff either, is it? It's not like, oh, that looks nice. Like, it is legitimately great kit. But please God, somebody put a dealer anywhere near it.
Well, just they need, by their own admission, we were at the factory, weren't we?
Yeah.
By their own admission, they need help in the UK. One of your favourites, Royal Enfield?
Yeah, I'm super impressed with them at the moment. I was thinking about it the other day, and I sort of had a little snoot around their website. And it's all looking incredible, and it goes back to what I was saying earlier about all these amazing looking retro 125s and stuff. Royal Enfield have actually got decent capacity, cheap. And I mean cheap, like £4 grand. Yeah. That's cheaper than a lot of the 125s from Yamaha and Honda.
Yeah.
So we're talking for a decent 500cc. Yes, it's old technology, but it's simple technology, and it's gonna be simple to fix and ride, and I think it's great. So well done, Royal Enfield.
Excuse me.
I don't know what that was.
At the show they launched the Interceptor and the Continental GT 650s.
The Continental GT 650 looks proper nice. Yeah. What's that? £5.5 grand or £6 grand?
Yeah, £5.5 grand.
And that's their top model.
Yeah. So what's after R?
S. Suzuki.
Suzuki, yeah. It's a bit of a shame, really. There's no new bikes. There was the Katana black edition.
Can I have my little moan about the Katana, please?
I'll just say my bit.
Okay, go on.
It's basically a load of plastic on a GSXF.
I just don't get the hype. I don't get the hype on the original ones.
I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That old Katana is a weapon.
I just don't see it myself.
Triumph. New 1200 Scrambler XC. That looks cool. Street Scrambler and Street Twin, again, super cool, if you like that sort of thing. New Bonnevilles 150s. I mean, I just wish Triumph would come out and make another banger.
I know.
I mean, all this money going
Well,
into
apparently, I heard from someone today that they have been offered the first 765. So it's definitely happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. But where is it?
It's not out this year.
Right. They're killing their own market by releasing so many retro
Well,
bikes.
this is the thing, but they are not pandering to a market, but they are responding to a market which is there.
The Speed Triple's very nice, the RS that we tested last year, but earlier this year actually. But there's not enough modern.
There's not enough modern stuff. No. But as I said, I think they are responding to the market, which unfortunately is not necessarily in the UK, but it's...
Yeah, but if they did what MV have done and put their put a 675 or 765, whatever it is, in a retro shell, people would throw money at it.
Yeah. So there you go.
By the way, you've got to give us some money if you do that, because we just told you to do
Super Veloce. Make a super fast Triumph Super Fast 800. There you go.
Yeah.
Triumph Super Fast 765.
Super Daytona.
Yeah. Yamaha.
Mm-hmm.
That was the usual pre-show show. They released the Tenere 700, which I think looks... Again, they'll sell a shit ton of those. Absolute ton of those. To rival the 790 Duke and the BMW 850. The Niken Gt.
Still haven't ridden it. Have you ridden one yet?
No, but we need to.
Yeah, desperate. Well, it's the right weather.
Yeah. There was the Xsr700x Tribute, which is the modelled on the XT500.
Yes, that's quite nice. Yeah.
That is stunning. Really,
Because that's an example of like a modern, old-styled bike.
Yes.
A bit like the Honda, which we didn't mention, the CB1000R. They had some really nice prototypes of that. But that's good. Mm-hmm. Well done.
There was the 3CT prototype. I think Yamaha basically own the scooter market in Europe. They own it with the T-Max, X-Max. So this new 3-wheel thing, which, was not our cup of tea, but I'll tell you what is our cup of tea, is the Gytr R1 Suzuka / 20th anniversary edition.
Yeah. Well, that is pretty much the same spec as the bike I rode in Portimao earlier this year with a paint job. Yeah. So is that? Do you have to build it yourself? You just go, hello, can I have one?
That's it. So rather than the bike you rode was basically a rolling
options
catalogue, wasn't it? Yeah. Whereas this is a bike you go and buy, but it's very, very limited.
How many?
20.
And how much?
I didn't get a price, but it's going to be a lot of money.
It's going to be 45.
It's going to be 50. I reckon 50. Yeah.
So is there any others? So, is there any other worthy mentions?
Funny you should say that, Chris.
Okay.
I've got a list.
Okay, so you didn't just ask me to say that.
No,
anyway, come on.
No. The Mondial flat track.
Yes.
That was, again, there's lots of flat trackers, scramblers, blah, blah, blah. That was pretty cool. Fantic Caballero. Another sort of scrambler, flat tracker thing.
He sounds like a singer from Spain.
It's Spanish, Fantic, That was pretty cool. Bruff Superior, shout outs to the Bruff Superior.
Yeah, Bruff Massive. They should do a Bruff Massive.
There's lots of shiny metal and it's. I think it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Yeah. It's definitely a niche. Yeah.
Indian. With the FTR 1200,
looking forward, nice looking bikes.
Looking forward to riding the FTR 1200 when it eventually comes out. Because
I could do with an Indian actually.
Oh yeah. Oh, don't,
mate. Let's get one.
And finally, the Benelli Leoncino 800.
Looks quite nice.
That is, yeah. Yeah, so all in all,
A good show.
a good show.
Did you miss me though?
I did, yeah.
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 Did you have anyone to hang out with?
No?
Really? Hmm.
I mean,
You didn't get arrested for having a wee on the tram line like
No.
you did last year?
No. No, it was just, it's quite sedate really. I was in bed by midnight most of the other nights. Yeah.
Wow.
Had a shisha on Tuesday. What?
Let's say had a shit. Had a shit. Had a shit and went to bed.
Had a shisha.
Like a bong.
Yeah.
Didn't have any passion at this time
No.
though. Bike of the show. I know what it's going to be, but bike of the show.
I can't look past that V4R. It's just, you know, as
How many have they made? Are they going to make of those?
it's not a limited edition.
Right, okay.
So they sold out all the bikes. You have to now wait till June to get one.
Okay.
What's yours, Chris?
I'm torn between 3.
Really?
Yeah. I think the one in 3rd place is going to be the V4S course.
Oh yeah, yeah. Good shout.
Because I love the V4S, and that is, I should imagine, just a little bit better. And now, the 2nd year of its production, it's going to have got rid of all of its issues. I mean, in fact, there's a list as long as my arm about recall. It's got flaps under the thing now. It's got loads of stuff, like different air things. Anyway, so that's now becoming a time where you could buy that. But above that, without even riding it, I think I would either plumb for the Aprilia.
Okay.
And I'm more excited to ride the BMW. The BMW is the one I'm most excited to see what it's like.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah.
But I mean, I would, yeah. So I think, because I don't know what the BMW is going to ride like yet, I'm going to say the Aprilia.
Okay.
But
yeah, I'm with you on that one. The BMW is the most intriguing.
Yeah.
You know, it's a
That's the one I'm
completely
most
fresh
excited.
slate.
Exactly.
And it's just going to be...
In fact, yeah, a BMW.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to say Royal Enfield or something.
No. I'd like one of them, but... Oh, apart from that 90 grand thing, but that's just ridiculous. Yeah. And also, the BMW is the cheapest one out of all of those we mentioned as well.
Yeah, true. Real world and all that.
Real bloody world.
Obviously, you can see all these bikes at Motorcycle Live next week. And,
I'll be there on the first Saturday, actually, and Sunday. Are you coming?
I am at some point, don't know when.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll see you there, guys.
I've got a penthouse as well, actually.
Yeah. Are you going to give that the postcode here?
Yeah, it's in the Hilton.
Oh, right. Oh, you actually have got a penthouse?
Yeah. It's a suite and everything. They ran out of normal rooms, so I had to get the fucking king donger at the top. It's got a kitchen and a living room. Player. See you later. By the way, if you'd like to buy, do you like these
let
t-shirts?
us know.
Do you like these hoodies? These are.
You can't really see it in the light, but
no.
yeah,
these are demos.
These are demos, yeah.
When we make them, the grey will be less white. It was going to be darker grey.
Slightly darker grey, so you can.
I think quite a lot darker actually. But anyway, let us know if you like them, and we'll make some more.
You are a turkey.
Why? Because I'm stuffed.
No, because you're only good once a year.
You look like a turkey.
Because I'm stuffed.
Because you've been plucked.